Okay, so looking at the driver's door here. So I had a bit of work done on her when we were up at Rust Bros. So uh, Blair did the corners, our corner pieces here. Finishes up pretty good. Got a bit of seam work to do here. There's different. There were a couple sections in here where it was just the rust was inside the seam and it kind of swelled it up there. So we just basically had to cut that out. Gonna do a little repair here just to get that piece out, and then we can take another strip of metal. We'll just weld it right along the edge here, clean that up, do the same here, and just gonna do a bit of touch up work here on this corner piece, get that done. And then what we're doing is flip the door up here, try to get it in the right spot. We're not going to put any. I'm not going to put the chrome trim down the side of her during this rebuild. So I'm actually going to we're just going to weld up those trim holes there and get them cleaned up. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at here now. So we'll work on getting these seams done up, finish that, and then we'll jump to that. So yeah, we'll show you as we're going here. Okay, so we're cutting past the boring cutting and trimming part here. So we got this piece, the door just trimmed out there, so got rid of that bad piece. There's our outer panel, it's still fine. So there's the piece that we're going to slip right in there, kind of sort of like that. Weld that in there first, and then here's the seam piece that'll go on top of that, and then we'll just clamp it, weld it right along this edge, clean that up, and then here's the other piece on this end, same deal, clamp it, weld it in along the seam, clean it up, and that'll take care of that. And then just used a hammer our hammer and dolly there, clean this corner up a little bit. Going to spot weld up in these holes here, a little bit in here, and then clean that all up, and then that part will be all done. So get to her here. All right, so here's our first seam piece welded in there. Still gotta flip the door over and clean up on the outer edge, but yeah, that's looking pretty good there. Had to move inside. Mother Nature decided to start raining, so we're just inside the garage here. But anyway, so got that first piece in there. So now we'll move over here and see if we can start spotting these guys in here. So actually I've finally got a new tripod, so maybe I'll see if I can set that up and at least give you a little bit of looking as to what we're doing here. So piece, looking pretty good. Yeah, we're gonna do this guy. So I'm just gonna shoot this with some primer first, let it dry for like 10 minutes, and then we can start putting that guy in. Okay, there we go. Oh, they're all in there now, looking pretty good. That's the other side. Just have to trim this edge off a little, or just shave this edge off a little bit here. But yeah, there's our seams looking pretty good. This came out really good. And then just did the spot welding in on the corner here. Got that all looking good there now. And so yeah, just got to just got to weld up those trim holes in there, and like I said, we just got to scrape this inner coating stuff, whatever it is, out of the way, clean that up, and then we'll use our copper plate in behind here and weld it from the outside. And get that all done. So yeah, we'll get that done there next. All right, so we're into welding up these holes here now, the trim. So basically what we're doing is I'm clearing enough room around the hole so I can get my copper plate right in behind it. So just kind of right in there like that, and then we'll stand the door up. Get the hole welded in. This plate that I've got, it's got magnets, and I've used it before in some other videos there. So, and they definitely come in handy. And I think you can get them in different lengths and sizes and stuff like that. But yeah. So anyway, that's basically what we're doing here right now. Just scraping this down, making sure that's nice and flat against the metal. I'm using a jitterbug cutter here. Just basically using it as a scraper. Got an old kind of dull blade in there right now, so it only digs into this stuff and not actually into the metal on the door. So yeah, we'll just keep going with that, and then get to the welding part. All right, so there's our first one successfully done there, looking pretty good. What I had to do, just to show you. So you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see here. Anyway, you can kind of see where the plate is up against the inside of the door. I had to use a piece of wood just wide enough to cover the gap so I could hold that plate in there. But, that's working quite well. So yeah, we'll just keep coming across and filling in holes. Here we go. All right. Well, anyway, so yeah, this was just a, I don't know, just a 1x6, whatever. Wasn't quite wide enough for all of it, so I just ended up using a piece of just a scrap steel and used it basically just like a retaining spring. So, you know, put the one edge up against the plate, and then just jam that up in there, and that just holds it in place just perfect. So, beauty job, beauty job. Alright, so this one here, just got the plate up on the outside here, just clamped. So we'll just have to weld her up from the inside here, and then once I've got the majority of it welded in here, then I should be able to flip the door over and finish it off on the other side. So yeah, let's see how this is gonna work. It's got that sealed up. Still got to do the apply some new seam sealer down into here and everything, but that's looking good from here. So then we'll flip her over, see what that other side looks like. Alright, so that's okay. I'll just fill that in there now. It shouldn't be too bad. Alright, there's all our trim holes welded up, so we'll be able to do, once we get the doors completely stripped down and all that, then we can do some body work, block sanding, stuff like that. I can at least get the door mounted now, see how it's going to fit. I'm pretty sure still going to have to play around with gaps and stuff like that, adjusting the edges with adding weld here or whatever. I can kind of feel right on the bottom here where this patch panel went in. It's a little bit of a dip there, but again, a little bit of welding right on the edge, and you grind it back to where it needs to be. But that's okay. We can deal with that. But for right now, yeah, I can put the door back on and see how that's going to fit, and then can jump to our passenger door back there. We're going to do the same thing with that. Get that welded up now, and yeah, go from there.